Okay, we're going to look at an Oopart today. An Oopart is an out-of-place artifact, something that can't be explained either by time or by technology that have been shown. What we're looking at here is the elephant slabs. This is a couple of tablets and some corresponding, or maybe non-corresponding, cave paintings and etchings done in rocks that correlate something that show that there possibly were people from the Middle East in the United States, in New Mexico, roughly about the year 1300. Let's look a little deeper into this here and go in on this. New Mexico, the upper reaches of it. They were found in 1910. Let's see, one odd thing about this is that if you'll look at these, they end up showing elephants on them. This is an elephant whose tusk has just gone out of way here. Later they'll show a cat. This looks like a sunrise and so on. Snake that we're familiar with. It's a lot of idiograms that are odd like that. In fact, just out of shot right here is a man on a horse. Now what's strange about that, and has made people make some of the correlations to the local cave art or rock wall art. It's not inside of a cave actually, it's just on the side of a wall. But make the combination with that is that they have found that that wall art also shows men riding horses. I don't know how up you are on this idea, but before the Younger Dryas event, there were horses in the Americas, but they were very small, comparative-wise, and there weren't any horses in the Americas till after the Spaniards brought them and so on. Some got loose, lo and behold, and now we have the Mustangs that still exist today. And after the Indians saw us utilizing horses, they started using them too. But that would have been 100 years after this happened. In the earliest epochs that they've given, at least 200 or 300, if not 400 years before they even attained a horse in this area. Which gives you another strange idea that maybe that rock art's from even older, and it would have to have been from a time well before. It's well documented though that the wood that they found that was even above the strata of where this was found and stuff and associated with it has been dated and then recarbon dated and so on, and it makes you think it's around 1300s. But then again, that would have been hundreds of years before we know or everybody correlates with. But of course we know the Vikings got here much earlier, and hey, I've got another video coming out showing you that Lagoon Meadows is not the only site that they had. There are a few more that are on deeper into Nova Scotia that they found and farther south, and it's very possible they made it their way all the way into the Americas. In fact, there's been a few artifacts that actually show that fact, but everybody wants to dismiss it. Now finding this secondary, it kind of verifies it. But these idiograms here have elephants on them. What makes that strange is that there were no elephants in the Americas. There used to be mastodons before the Younger Dryas event, but elephants were long gone. In fact, what we're calling an elephant in the Americas is really a mastodon, and then northern to that it'd be a woolly mammoth. And for you to think that these people that are down in Mexico would have been experiencing those creatures shows you that they probably weren't from there either. Now you can get the idea that they came across the Bering Land Bridge and there was still the last remnants of elephants and stuff, and then they kept that idea, although never seeing one, writing it down, even drawing a picture in the sand or something that we haven't found yet, but then they would have had to keep it for 11,000 years. It's also possible that they find a skeleton and then they turned around and deified it and gave a word for it. But this script that we're looking at doesn't correlate to any Indian known script. They didn't really have script, they had idiograms, and what this strangely looks like is the ancient idiograms of the Sumerians. Now Brad Steiger, a researcher, looked into this, and he says it's something like a Phoenician script, but well before the idea of the Phoenicians coming up with phonetics. That it's more akin to Sumerians or people of Mesopotamia. That's half a world away. Although we've talked about how there was ancient seafaring that people are not willing to admit to. Somehow you're caught up in an idea that whenever Columbus sailed the ocean blue, he was going to fall off the edge of the earth, and that everybody thought the earth was flat and nobody knew anything, but that's not true. That's what they wanted the local populace to think. They get you thinking all kinds of things even to this day. That's not for the scope of this video though, but when we look at this, it looks like people from Mesopotamia had ended up coming into the Americas and made all these ideograms and so on. And then here we go with the cave art. And I don't know if you can really make it out, but over there on the right hand side are pictograph ideas that we can actually find around the world. It's not just an American thing. If you'll also look right next to him, it looks like there are dogs and so on that are here. This looks like either a dog or a gazelle and so on. And just out of shot, let's see if I can do this. Just out of shot over here, right here, this person has bird feet. And he's got a cross for a head. Now that means something too. And there's a connective with that. But also, if we look at these native air pictographs that we find here on the left, I don't know if you make it out, but this right here looks like a golf green with a hole put into it. So these guys are playing golf or something? No, there's got to be something much more to that, but this does look like a flag or a hatchet. But guess who's riding a horse right here? And guess who's riding a horse right here? Now these are supposed to be simultaneously dated, and you can actually see somebody named Tom showed up after that and saw these things on them. And they want to discredit that and saying, well, Tom put the thing on the horse. Tom had the horse thing on there. But the patina on these supposedly says no. No, this wasn't anything recent whatsoever. In fact, it's much older than Tom's writing that's there. So it's a bit of an anomaly, and you keep seeing these ideas sometimes presented to you. But you can clearly see the elephants that are in this. An eagle or a bird, an Aleph symbol, which gives you a connection to ancient Phoenicians. This symbol here too. This symbol is seen in a few different cultures, but it would be from the Near East. There are ones that look like flowers, other plants, other ideograms that are actually well known. The problem is that because this is before a time of phonetics, we're not able to exactly discern what this actually says. What, elephant, well, that's almost like the Aleph. This is the LF symbol. That's an elephant, so it's a little different, but that's also where it gets its name. El, the God of the Bible, and so on. We've talked about. There's a hand symbol that's right over here. Quite a few. Even this symbol here with an off-shapen box with 3 scratches on the top versus what looks like an H with 2 bars in it has been seen before. Idiograms of people that are here. 3 sets of triangles like a pyramid, but that's looked at as being the flower that you see in a few places here. Again, the issue is that this was around 1300s and well before the Europeans made it to America. Not even Columbus and whatever, you know, that was 200 years later almost. But horses didn't arrive till hundreds of years later. There's horses on those 1 pictograms, but there's not on any of this that's shown here. Let me know what you think down in the comments down below, and we'll get on to another bit of archaeology here. Peace.